Hi everyone, my name is Leanne and today I'm going to be bringing you a book unhaul. I'm actually filming this in the evening, which is something that I never do. I always try and film during the day with like natural sunlight. But when I was coming home from work today, I noticed that the book swap in my local tube station was looking so empty. It definitely looked like it needed some TLC and some attention. And I knew I had some books that I wanted to get rid of, so I'm going to be showing them to you before I take it to the tube station tomorrow morning on my way to work. I'm unhauling books far more regularly than I used to, which is something that has felt really cleansing and really good. I still do keep the majority of books that I read because I like the majority of the books that I read, but here are a few that I wanted to get rid of. I do have 2 books that I'm unhauling having not read yet. The first of those is The Witch of Salt and Storm by Kendall Cooper. I read the second book in this series, not knowing it was the second book. A few years ago, I was maybe in my first or second year of university, and I liked it. I did enjoy it. So when I saw this first book, I was like, oh, maybe I should go back and read the first book and see if I enjoy that. But I basically had no desire to pick this up, and I read that other book in this series when I was kind of into YA fantasy, whereas now I have little to no interest in YA fantasy, so hopefully someone will enjoy this one a lot more than I would. I also have a poetry collection, Cure All by Kim Parko. I don't really know anything about this collection. I don't have much desire to pick it up, so again, hopefully someone else will enjoy it a lot more. Now into books that I have read. I am going to unhaul The Last by Hannah Jameson. I didn't really like this book. It's a dystopian book. It's meant to be quite thrilling and page-turning, but it wasn't for me. Same kind of reason for Little Friends by Jane Shemelt. This one just wasn't really up my street. The Wisdom of Sally Red Shoes by Ruth Hogan. I think Ruth Hogan is a really great writer, but again, I think her writing style just really isn't for me. I've read 2 of her books now. I know someone will be so excited to pick up such a beautiful book. The Book Ninja by Ali Berg and Michelle Callouse. I feel really conflicted about getting rid of this one because I enjoyed this book so much, but I enjoyed it for all of the wrong reasons. There was just a lot about the plot and the writing that I found very silly. It was the first book I read this year, and I do have a fondness and a slight attachment to it, but again, I think someone will get more out of this book than it sitting on my shelf. The Booby Trap and Other Bits and Bobs, edited by Dawn O'Porter. This is a bit of a mishmash collection of things all about boobs. There are essays in here, there's poems, there's comic strips from a bunch of well-known figures. This wasn't really the book that I wanted it to be. Sue Turton's This Book Will Help You Change the World. This is an amazing book that makes politics really accessible for people who don't understand it. I think it's particularly targeted towards teenagers, but I found it really useful to refresh and clarify some things in my head about how the political system works. It breaks things down really, really well without any bias. It's accompanied by really great infographics and illustrations. I love this book. I love that it exists, but I think its purpose is much better in the world going to someone else to help them inform them about these things. Ghana Must Go by Tayi Selassie. I really, really liked this book. I just don't really feel like I have any desire to reread it. So again, hopefully someone else will like it. Doom Rolled in Glitter by Lena Norms. This is a poetry zine by Lena Norms, who you probably know if you are on BookTube. When you pre-ordered this, you got 2 copies. So I'm keeping my copy, and then I think someone else will just absolutely love this, and I think Lena's poetry just deserves to be read by as many people as possible. And the final book I'm unhauling is The Bookish Life of Nina Hill by Abby Waxman. This was one that I did contemplate keeping just because I love this cover so much, but I really didn't love the book enough to justify keeping it. I thought it was an enjoyable read. It's just not one that I think will stay with me or I have any kind of emotional attachment to. For the sake of this channel being a video documentation of my reading life, I also recently unhauled The To-Do List and Other Debacles by Amy Jones, which is a non-fiction book. It is Amy Jones' memoir, and I thought there was a lot of stuff in there that one of my friends would really connect with, so I passed that book on to her. So that's it. They are all the books that I'm getting rid of. I would love to know down in the comments what you do with books that you don't want to keep anymore. Do you sell them? Do you try and pass them on to friends? Do you take them to book swaps like I do? Are you someone that is committed to keeping every single book that you've read? Because that used to be me until it became unmanageable. Let me know in a comment down below. I hope you guys are doing well, and I will talk to you in my next video.